Good morning mga Urbano. Ako po si Chris Urbano, bringing you food and fun from the Philippines. And today I'm actually going to show you one of my favorite ways to start the day living here in Manila, and that's with a healthy fruit smoothie. Here in the Philippines, I like to keep healthy, so I'll go to the gym, I'll come back from the gym, and then I'm looking for something that's, fast, that's healthy, and that's delicious. And obviously Philippine fruits are some of the best fruit in the world. So I've got some in front of me here, and today I'm going to show you my favorite combination of fruits to use in a smoothie here in the Philippines. So I've got here some bananas. We're using Lakatan bananas today. We have some lovely fresh papaya, and we have our Kalamansi. Now, the Kalamansi is really important in this smoothie because it kind of reacts with the papaya, right? So when I was growing up in Australia, we would always squeeze the fresh lime over either pawpaw or papaya, and it kind of gives it this real zing, really delicious flavor when you have it together, right? So that's really important. It's going to make the whole thing pop in your mouth. Don't avoid the citrus in this. You really need it. Then we've got some honey over here. Now with honey, it's always good to use something local that you got from nearby. So I'm using one from Australia that's definitely not local, but my mum sent in a Balikbayan box. So this is from Beechworth. Thanks, Mum. We're using a Beechworth, it's a lucerne honey. So the bees eat, the pollens from the lucerne plants in Australia, and that's, where this honey comes from. And then we're using some fresh yogurt. This is, full cream milk yogurt. We make it ourselves at home. Really easy to do using milk powder, but you might like to just buy some, in Tagaytay or Laguna if you're here in Manila. Obviously yogurt's pretty easy to get if you're watching from the US or Australia or Canada or the UK or wherever else our fans are. So get some nice, thick, creamy Greek yogurt to go in this one as well. All right, let's get started. So to start this smoothie out, I always put the bananas in first because they're, quick and easy to peel. I'm going to show you actually, this is about a double batch because I've got, a whole crew here of people who help me make this show who are going to have a bit of a smoothie later. If you're making this just for yourself or for you and one other person, you can just put in maybe 2 bananas, but I'm going to use 4 for today's shoot. Now remember, you can use just about any type of banana, maybe except for Saba bananas or plantains. If you've got Cavendish, if you're in Australia or the US, these are Lakatans. You can use the little senoritas as well, but I normally use about, 2 medium bananas if I'm making it for 1 or 2 people. And next we have our papaya. So you don't need to cut this into small pieces. You just want to remove the peel on the outside. And I will use about 1/4 of a papaya, of a medium-sized papaya for 2 bananas. So in this case, 4 bananas. I've got about half a papaya here that's going in. Okay, and next comes our Kalamansi. So I'll put in about 4 pieces of this, or you can do half a lime wedge if you're doing this at home. And the easiest way to do it is just using, I find, a tea strainer for a Kalamansi. They're small, but they have a lot of seeds actually. Okay, so we've got all of our fruit here in a mixing bowl. Now you can use either one of those blenders where it's already the jug and you just press the button and blend it. I normally will use a stick blender and do it either in a jug or a bowl like this with a spout. But stick blenders are great because whatever you're using, you can pretty much put them in, whether it's a soup or a smoothie. They're very versatile. All right, so we're going to put in our yogurt now. So yeah, I make this yogurt myself here in Manila. We actually just use milk powder. So this is a little sulit tip para sa mga onshore Filipinos. Tell your family in the US or abroad to send you back lots and lots of full cream milk powder because it's super cheap overseas. And then you can actually make really, really thick, creamy yogurt with milk powder here in Manila. And I don't like the taste of it if you make it into milk, but if you make it into full cream yogurt, it actually tastes really good because the healthy bacteria take it over, give it a certain taste, and they kind of mask that UHT preserved kind of milk flavor that you get with powdered milk. If you have a look at it, it's thick, it's chunky. That's really homemade, in my kitchen here. All right, so we'll put in about 2 tablespoons is good. So I'll just finish this off so it's a little bit more thick and creamy. And then I have my lucerne honey from Australia, but there's plenty of good local honey here in the Philippines. You get about a tablespoon of that, not too much. I really prefer that we let the fruit do the talking. And then the last thing that you want to add is some milk. You can also do water if you want it to be a little bit lighter as a shake, but I prefer mine creamy. And like I said, I've normally done this after a workout, so I usually go in with full cream milk. If it's not quite enough to cover the amount of fruits you got, you can just top it up with a bit of water. So sometimes you can do half milk and water as well. But normally I'll give it a whiz first with the stick blender, see how thick it is, and then you just top it off with a bit of water if you want a slightly thinner shake. There is a bit of an art to using a stick blender in a big bowl like this, especially with those big chunks of fruit. So you kind of want to just get on top of the big chunks and pulse them. And then once you've kind of broken it down to chunks, you stick the blender in at sort of a 30-degree angle because it allows, you know, the rest of the smoothie to get up under the stick blender. And that's it. But the most important thing is just have a good stick blender. So like buy something around 600 watts. You don't want to go for, there's some really cheap stuff on the market, like, you know, 120 watts, whatever, they'll just break right away. It's all about the motor when it comes to your stick blender. So that's the consistency. That's fairly runny. If it's too runny, you can always just throw in one more banana just to thicken it up a little bit more. But that's pretty good though. And I'll just have a little taste. Now's the time, if it's kulang sa Kalamansi or kulang sa honey, you can add a little bit more in before you serve it. And I'm just going to use this pitcher here. And then normally, if you want it a little bit colder, you can just serve it over a cube or two of ice, like this. Some people like to sprinkle a little bit of muesli at this stage, you know, a few seeds and nuts or whatever, and you've got a complete breakfast. And the best thing about this, let me taste it first. Sarap, and it is actually breakfast time here on the set of Maputing Cooking. So this is the perfect way to actually start the shoot today. If you've liked watching this recipe, try it out at home. And don't forget, you can subscribe to the channel. You can follow us at our Facebook page and just write me an email if you'd like. I'd love hearing from you guys. It's been a pleasure having you today. I'm Urbano. We'll see you next time. Bye.